Ugh. Shit. I had to edit that out. Wasn't pretty. Time for another Blu Ray update. Coming in number 5. I'm excited to go ahead and talk to you guys about
DVD Halloween 2015. Bringing another video.
over at Best Buy. How's it going, everybody? Tommy Star here. Thank you for clicking on this video and welcome to my May 2017 Blu-ray update. And boy, do we yet again have a big one. Yeah, we got over 50 titles in this update, you guys. We got a lot of really good stuff, and I'm actually really excited to share them all with you guys. Tons of A to Z titles, a lot of newer stuff. We got a collector set, we got some steel books, we got some Disney, we got some horror, and we even got one little old lonely DVD. So yeah, like I said, I'm really excited to share with you guys everything in this update. Hopefully it won't be super long, but it it might be enough for you guys to sit down and get comfortable, and I hope you enjoy. If you guys been watching some of my recent videos, you've been noticing that I've really been stocking up on slipcovers. And a lot of these titles you're about to see, actually, I end up getting without slipcovers. And I ended up getting the slipcovers for them. Or I had slipcovers I got from my friend Jake, and I bought the movie because I had the slipcovers. So yeah, really been getting into slipcovers a lot, you guys, and I'm loving it because, you know, like I said, I think slipcovers really make movies look badass when they're up on the shelf. So anyways, you guys, like I said, this is going to be a long one, so let me quit talking. Let's go ahead and get into the goods. All right, so the only DVD I picked up in this update is Fear Inc., a movie that came out last year, 2016, and it was directed by Vincent Maciel, whatever. So a movie that was released only to DVD, as far as I know. I had to pick this up by at Walmart. And luckily, I went to a couple, and I ended up finding it at like the third one. So I'm pretty happy about that. It sounds like a really cool movie. It stars Lucas Neff, Caitlin Stacy, Abigail Breslin. If you guys want to see who's in this, it also has him in it. I forgot his name, the kid from The Big Green, son-in-law. I don't know, I can't remember his name. But anyways, if you guys want to read about this, hopefully you can pause on that. But like I said, it sounded like a cool movie, and I really wanted to see it. I don't, really buy DVDs that often, but when I do buy DVDs, it ends up being mostly like horror titles, pretty much. But anyways, yeah, sounds kind of cool. Haven't watched it yet. Hopefully I'll get around to it soon. All right, so that does it for the DVDs. I know, big stack. So now we're gonna get into the Blu-rays. Went everywhere this time as usual. Walmart, Best Buy, Target, half-price books, some pawn shops. I'm trying to think if... I don't think any of this stuff was ordered this time around, but anyway, let's get into it. Hi. How you doing? Hi, give me a kiss. Oh, yes, I love you. I love you. All right, everybody, so kicking things off with collector sets. This just happens to be the only one I got, but I seen that this was coming out. I didn't own any of these movies on DVD or anything, and I seen this kick-ass collection coming out on Blu-ray, and I had to go pick it up. I think they had a steelbook version of this too, but my Best Buy, I think that was only a Best Buy. My Best Buy didn't have them, so I just went over to Walmart and picked this up. Pretty badass looking collection. I've never been a huge fan of the Mummy movies, but I do enjoy them to a certain extent, especially the first one. I mean, the first one just was awesome. And then as they went along, like most movies do, sequels got worse and worse. But in this particular collection, you're going to get, as you see here, The Mummy Returns, The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, and then The Scorpion King, which actually came after Mummy Returns. Just to give you a quick breakdown here, of course, Stephen Sommers directed the first two in 99 and 2001. And then we'll kind of skip over Scorpion King for now, but the last one, The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, Rob Cohen took over the directing duties, and that came out in 2008. All three of the movies star Brendan Fraser and what's her name, Rachel Weisz, and then Jet Li showed up in the third one. Now getting into the Scorpion King, like I said, the Scorpion King is a prequel to the Mummy movies, set like 5,000 years before. We get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson taking on the role of the Scorpion King, Matthias. And that one came out in 2002, directed by Chuck Russell. Like I said, I mean, they're cool movies, and I really like the first one, and I saw this set, and I just had to pick it up. I'll go ahead and just kind of give you guys a quick little peek at this. Not much to it, just, a little side sleeve, and then we get a clear case, clear Blu Ray case. All right, so just got it open here, and I believe they're on individual discs. So there's the Mummy, Mummy Returns, Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, and then the Scorpion King here. And then, let me see here. I'm just trying to make sure this is Blu-ray. Yeah, oh my God, I'm blind. It's right there. And then we get a bonus disc, which, of course, has a bunch of features. So, yeah, like I said, a cool little set. I was happy to get it. It wasn't that much. It was like $22 or something like that. So, I seen it. I had to get it. All right, next up here, because of course I have OCD and I'm a completionist, since I got the Mummy set and I had Scorpion King, I had to get these sequels, even though these are probably just junk movies. I didn't pay that much for them, just I think like $4 a piece. But anyways, so these were some straight-to-video sequels that of course didn't really do that well. Scorpion King 2 came out in 2008, directed by Russell Macaulay, yeah, anyway, and Michael Copen took over the role of Matthias the Scorpion King, and then we get Scorpion King 3. This one came out in 2012, directed by Roll Rainey. God, I suck at names. And then, of course, we get another Matthias. Victor Webster takes over the role of Matthias. This one, of course, also has Billy Zane, which I like Billy Zane. I think we also get Batista in here. Yeah, it looks like Batista down there. So, anyways, like I said, I found them both with slipcovers, and just to complete the set, I had to go ahead and get them. There is a part 4 as well that I found these at a pawn shop. So I might end up having to order part 4 off of Amazon or something. But like I said, never seen these movies, but I got them just to complete the set. I'm sure they're probably junk. But anyways, yeah, Scorpion King 2 and 3. All right, next we got ourselves a little double feature here, Life with Mikey and Fatherhood. I remember buying this exact set. I think I have it down here somewhere. If I can find it. Yeah, right here. I got this DVD set that also came with Swing Vote. I mainly bought this set on DVD because of Life with Mikey. I love Life with Mikey. And then I ended up really liking Fatherhood, too. I had never seen it before, and I really liked it. I still, to this day, never watched Swing Vote. But anyways, so I found this set now on Blu-ray. I don't think Life with Mikey has an individual Blu-ray release. I think it's just in this, double feature here, but really cool movie. Life with Mikey came out in 1993, directed by James Ledeen, and of course stars Michael J. Fox. Really, really cool movie. He's like this. He was like a child star in a TV show, and he was really, really big, really popular as a little kid. And then when he grew up, he just pretty much became nobody. Turned into like an agent, and he's just trying to represent different young actors that try to Try to see if he can try to make it big again. It's a funny movie. It's really cool. Definitely one of Michael J. Fox's best. And then Fatherhood, that came out in '93 as well. That was directed by Daryl James Root. Of course, starring Patrick Swayze. That was a really cool movie. I'm surprised I'd never seen it before because I love Patrick Swayze. And then I end up watching it, and God, it really ended up being a good movie. Kind of has a pretty sad moment at the end there, if I remember right. But I went to this pawn shop, Max at Pawn, and they had this deal on a bunch of like Blu Rays sitting off to the side up on the front counter, and they're all $1. So I grabbed this one. This was one that was $1 as well. So you can't go wrong when you pay $1 for Blu Rays, especially a double pack. That means I paid 50 cents a piece. So some really cool movies. All right, next up, we're actually got a couple of Adam Sandler films adding to the collection, starting with Jack and Jill. This, of course, directed by Dennis Dugan, 2011. I thought this movie was okay. Kind of silly, to be honest with you, but it was all right. I mean, it was enjoyable. It wasn't the greatest Adam Sandler movie, but it was okay. Where he just plays like two characters, him and Jill. They're supposed to be brother and sister, but they're both played by Adam Sandler. That was kind of funny, but I don't know. I watched it one time when it first came out. It's been a long time, but I'm collecting all Adam Sandler, so I had to pick it up. All right, next up we got Blended, directed by Frank Caracci. Came out in 2014. This was the third film that Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore were in together. Of course, first one being Wedding Singer, and then 50 First Dates, and now this one. I actually haven't seen this one. I thought I did, but I haven't. But any movie with these two has got to be good. I've heard this, obviously not one of the best Sandler movies, but for $5 and trying to collect everything Adam Sandler, of course I'm gonna grab it. But I mean, if you guys want to read about it, just sounds like kind of like a romantic comedy of some sort. I'm willing to give it a shot. Haven't watched it yet, but we'll definitely watch it soon. And of course, I had to pick up Happy Gilmore. This came out in '96, directed by Dennis Dugan again. Definitely one of Adam Sandler's best. This is right up there with Billy Madison. This is an older one. I think this came right after Billy Madison. I believe so. They're pretty close. I know Billy Madison was first, and then this one came, but I don't know if that movie Bulletproof was somewhere in the middle there. But anyway, who doesn't love Happy Gilmore? So funny, just excellent. I'm so happy I found this at Pawn America. I actually went to a Pawn America not too long ago, and I really struck gold there. Found a lot of titles that I've been looking for a while that you'll see in this update. But yep, happy to have Happy Gilmore. Okay, next up we got a newer movie that actually just came out this year, 2017, Rock Dog. This was directed by Ash Brannon. Of course, the cast you see there, J.K. Simmons, Luke Wilson, Eddie Izzard, Kenan Thompson. All-star cast. It looks like a cool movie. I don't know a lot about it just from what I've seen in the trailer and what I read on the back here. Co-director of Toy Story 2. All right. It just looked like a fun new animated film. I remember seeing the trailer for it, and I had a feeling when it would come on a Blu Ray, I definitely would want to get it. But hey, I'm in a band. I love rock music. What won't I like about Rock Dog, right? If you guys have seen this, let me know down in the comments if it's any good. Hopefully I'll be watching this soon with the kids. So, all right, that takes us to Conan the Barbarian. Of course, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. This came out back in 1982. John Milius is the director. I'd watched a lot of the YouTubers that I follow, and they were all finding this movie in the Walmart dump bin, but I could never find it in there, and I came across it at Half Price Books. It was brand new, $8 in the dump bin, or $10 used at Half Price Books. I mean, I looked everywhere for it, and I just could not find it in the Walmart dump bin, and I really wanted it, so I found it at Half Price Books. I was happy to find it there. $2 more, what the hell, But yeah, a cool movie. I mean, I haven't seen this in years, but I really remember liking it when I was younger. And, one of Schwarzenegger's first movies he was in. Still got to get the sequel, Conan the Destroyer. Hopefully I'll find that at some point. I'm not even sure if that comes on Blu Ray. I'm sure it does, but yeah, now I got Conan the Barbarian. All right, next up we got Running Scared, directed by Wayne Kramer. This movie came out in when did it come out? 2006, starring, of course, the late great Paul Walker. I always remember seeing this movie. When I remember when it first came out, and I always wanted to buy it, but I just never got around to doing it. And I've heard that it's a pretty decent movie. It sounds kind of cool on the back there. If you guys want to pause on that. And I love anything with Paul Walker. I mean, he was just such a great actor. So sad that we lost him so young. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I came across it at Half Price Books for $6. I figured, hey, what the hell? I'll go ahead and grab it. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this, hopefully soon. Because, like I said, this is something I've been wanting to watch for a long time. So, if you guys have seen this, let me know in the comments what you think of it. All right, next up we got The Judge, directed by David Dobkin from 2014, I believe. This, of course, stars Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Duvall. I seen this movie before. I owned it on DVD, and I thought this was a really cool movie. It kind of slow at parts. I thought it would be a lot better, but it was still a pretty cool movie. It's got a pretty cool twist at the end. Something, just a really cool ending. And when it comes to movies, like I base everything on how, what the outcome is, because you just watch a lot of movies that would just be badass and then they just end so stupid. This had a really cool ending, actually. But yeah, I love Robert Downey Jr. He's brilliant in everything he does. Happy to come across this on Blu Ray. Definitely wanted to pick it up. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen this, definitely check it out. It's kind of cool. It's not, like I said, the greatest movie in the world, but it's definitely worth watching one time. Okay, so that takes us to Birdman. This movie came out in 2014, directed by, and I'm totally going to just butcher this, Alejandro G. Inarritu. Oh my god, I suck. Anyway, this, of course, stars Michael Keaton and Zach Galifianakis, Edward Norton. You can see right up there. So I got this. This was one of those cool slipcovers that open up. I remember seeing this in stores back when it was like $20-25 when it first came out. And then it wasn't quick before all these slipcovers were gone, and then every copy you purchased, is missing the slipcover. My friend Jake, this is one of the slipcovers that I kept of ones that he gave me, and I had to get the movie. And actually, it's pretty cheap now. It was $15 at Best Buy, and Amazon had it for $10, so I price matched it at $10. I've heard nothing but great things about this movie. I love Michael Keaton. As you can see here, one of the best films ever. Nominated for 7 Golden Globes, including Best Picture. It sounds like an interesting movie. And like I said, I've heard nothing but good things about this movie, and I'm definitely excited to check this movie out. And since I have the slipcover for it, I had to buy the movie. So thanks, my buddy Jake, for hooking me up with this slipcover. All right, so that takes us to A Dog's Purpose. This movie came out this year, 2017, directed by Lasse Hallström. This stars Dennis Quaid and Josh Gad doing the voice work for the dog. Now, everybody talks about this movie. I actually got a chance to see this just when I watched it. Everybody talks about this movie being, super sad, and yes, very, very true. This is definitely a tearjerker, even for a guy. A really heartwarming story, as it says right here, and it is. It's really good. I mean, basically, it's a story told through the mind of a dog, and this dog, is just kind of ending up with different owners, and every time he dies, he gets reincarnated as another dog, a different breed. One time, he even was reincarnated as a female dog. He just goes through these different lives and experiences different things with different types of owners. Even one time he played a canine police dog. And it's just, as you see the dog, keep dying throughout the years, it's just, it gets really sad and just really touching. And then it's got just a brilliant ending to this movie that definitely gets the tears going. I highly recommend this movie. It was really entertaining, very enjoyable, and just a sweet movie. I love dogs, as you know. I got a dog, my dog Fletcher. I absolutely love him. I've always been a dog lover my whole life, and that's why I knew I would enjoy the movie. And it was great. I love it. Definitely check this movie out, you guys. Okay, next up we got The Devil Wears Prada, directed by David Frankel. Came out in 2006. This is actually the 10th anniversary edition, which is kind of hard to believe. This stars Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep. So I'll tell you a little story. I think I told you guys about this before when I picked it up on a shopping video. Total major chick flick, 100%. But I really enjoyed it. And the only reason why I ever even watched this movie is a friend of mine from elementary school. His older brother, who was a few years older than us, about 4 or 5 years older. Every time I would go over to my friend Ryan's house to hang out in the summer and whatnot after school, I always seen his brother. I knew his brother. He was always at the house, and he actually grew up, Ryan's older brother, his name is Rich, actually grew up to be an actor. I didn't even know that. And he actually is in this movie. His name is Rich Summer. He's not on the back or anything here, but if you guys have seen this movie, he plays Anne Hathaway's friend Doug, the guy with like the short dark hair, and I believe he has glasses on, and he's always wearing a suit, and when he's on screen, and he does a good job. He's definitely gotten more roles over time. I believe that one movie, that newer movie with Sally Field, I can't think of what it's called. It's a brand new Sally Field movie. Came out on Blu Ray, I think a month or two ago. Well, he's in that one too. He's a cool actor. I think he definitely deserves to get bigger roles. His name is Rich Summer, and I had heard from I think I reconnected with my friend Ryan through Facebook or something a few years back, or maybe MySpace. And he had told me, I asked about the family, and he says his brother became an actor, and he said he's going to be starring in a movie coming out soon, and a movie called Devil Wears Prada. And so I didn't go to the theater or anything, but I definitely went and picked it up when it came out on DVD. And I thought it was kind of a cool movie. Yeah, major chick flick, but Anne Hathaway is good. Meryl Streep is just brilliant in this movie as well. But check it out, guys. If even being a chick flick is definitely worth a watch. It's kind of a cool movie. So if you want to see what it's about, there you can check that out. But anyways, yeah, there we go. Devil Wears Prada. All right, next up we got So I Married an Axe Murderer. This movie came out back in '93, directed by Thomas Schlamme, of course starring Mike Myers. Been many, many years since I've seen this movie. And I don't remember a lot about it, but I know I remember liking it. Cool comedy film. One of Mike Myers' earlier roles. I found it for $3, so I had to pick it up. My buddy Greg Stott, who I follow on YouTube. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about him before. He really likes this movie, and he talks highly of it. I definitely want to revisit it, especially on Blu Ray now, because it's been so long since I've seen this movie. So I'm excited to check it out again. All right, next up we got another newer movie came out this year, directed by Dallas Jenkins, The Resurrection of Gavin Stone. This movie stars Brett Dalton, who plays Gavin Stone, and we also get Shawn Michaels in this movie, the wrestler, believe it or not. Never seen him in a movie before. I think this is like his first starring role. But anyways, this sounded like a cool movie. I think I mainly got it just because Shawn Michaels is in it, but it actually does sound like a cool movie. If you guys want to read that there. Brett Dalton, of course, you see there is from the TV show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Basically, from what I am reading on here, Gavin Stone is he's kind of gotten into trouble with the law and stuff, forced to do community service, and to play in the Passion Play for church, and he's got to play the role of Jesus, and through the process, he ends up, as you guys can read it here. He ends up just, discovering faith and forgiveness and, basically he just becomes a better person through the process of playing in this play. And it sounds interesting, a movie that I definitely want to watch with my mom. She definitely likes movies like this. And to have Shawn Michaels in here, I mean, come on, right? But yeah, I mean, it just looks kind of like a cool movie. I'll be checking this out soon with my mom probably. So, all right, next up we got Broken Lizard's Super Troopers. This came out in 2002, starring Jay Chandrasekhar, also starring Jay Chandrasekhar. I swear to God, I always mess up that name. He's a funny guy though. And then of course we also get Kevin Heffernan. Super funny movie. I like the Broken Lizard movies. I think my favorite one is probably Club Dread. I wish they would. I actually, I don't even know if it's on Blu Ray. I don't think it is. But if you guys haven't seen Club Dread, great movie from Broken Lizard. But I like Super Troopers. It's definitely a super funny movie. I hear that they've been talking about making a sequel for it for a long time. But another one of those movies I found for $1 over at the pawn shop, so I had to pick it up. All right, next up is a movie I know absolutely nothing about, The Fault in Our Stars. Well, I know that it came out in 2014, directed by Josh Boone, starring Shailene Woodley, Ansel Elgort. I've never heard of either of those actors, but anyway, I was going to have Jess do a review of this movie because she loves this movie, and she's on here right now. And this is pretty much the only movie that I was going to ever do a review on, so I figured, I'm not going to stall the uploading of this video because of one movie. So maybe later Jess will give a quick little review of this movie. But like I said, I know nothing about it. She picked it up for herself. Didn't pay that much for it, a couple bucks at the pawn shop. So there you go, The Fault in Our Stars. All right, next up we got just a classic Robin Williams film, 25th anniversary edition of Good Morning Vietnam. This came out back in 1988, directed by Barry Levinson. Super funny movie. I didn't own this on DVD. I'm so happy I came across this in Best Buy as a dump in for only $6. Love this movie. I had to pick it up. It's been so long since I've seen this movie. If you guys haven't seen that, check it out. It is so funny. I mean, Robin Williams at his best. Rest in peace. Amazing actor that we lost. Yeah, just I love this movie so much. I'm so happy to own this. I haven't watched it yet, as you can see, it's still sealed, but we'll be getting to this very soon. All right, next we got another newer movie, The Accountant. Came out it came out last year, 2016, directed by Gavin O'Connor, of course, starring Ben Affleck. This movie still is sitting around $25, no matter where you go. And a couple weeks ago, I was at Best Buy, and they had a sale running, and this was $12.99. A movie I wasn't like super in a hurry to pick up. I have heard good things about it, but I didn't want to pay $25 for for something I wasn't super interested in. And when I seen it for $12.99, I had to grab it. But it looks cool. I haven't seen it yet. I heard nothing but good things about this movie. I really like Ben Affleck. I think he's good in what he does. Not one of my favorite actors in the world, but he's definitely good at what he does. But yeah, I mean, it sounds cool. And gonna go on the list of movies I got to see. So I'm happy to have found this for a good price. All right, next up we got the 10th anniversary edition of Fight Club. So this stars, of course, Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, directed by David Fincher from 1999. This was another movie that I got the slipcover for first from my buddy Jake. One of those cool, slipcovers that open up. It's awesome. Kick-ass movie. Just badass. I owned it on DVD, but when I see that my buddy had the slipcover, I went and I think I found it in the dump bin at Best Buy for like $6. And I had to own it. And looking forward to checking it out on Blu Ray. So, yeah. Okay, next up we got another movie that I got the slipcover first, and then I went and found it at the Walmart dump bin. This is a movie my buddy Jake has been telling me about for a long time, Cloud Atlas. This was directed by 3 directors here, and I definitely know why. It's a long movie. It's like 3 hours long, and there's a lot going on, a lot of crazy stuff. But directed by Lana and Andy Wachowski and Tom Tykwer, something. Came out in 2012. Tom Hanks, Halle Berry. I love Tom Hanks and everything he does. And I'll tell you guys this, I ended up actually getting a chance to watch this the other night. My buddy Jay came over and we watched a few movies, and this was one that he recommended. He's been telling me to watch this for a long time. And I'll be honest with you guys, I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't exactly my style. I mean, I love Tom Hanks. This was definitely something very different for Tom Hanks. But it's just one of those like crazy fantasy type movies, and it's kind of all over the place. It was really hard to follow, and to top it off, I was like falling asleep during it because I was like super tired. It was late. And you know, it's so much going on and such a long movie that it was just kind of hard to stick with. But you know, Jake really liked it. I mean, I'm not going to say it was a horrible movie or anything, but I mean, maybe you know, when I'm not as tired, I'll give it another shot. But anyways, it was okay. It was just not exactly my style of movie. But yeah, anyways, I gave it a shot. I appreciate Jake for recommending it, giving me the slipcover. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this movie, Cloud Atlas. All right, that takes us to School of Rock. A movie that I have been looking for that's been on the list for a long time, and I'm really surprised I found it out in the wild over at Pawn America. Really good condition, too. To be honest with you, I think this was brand new. I've already got the seal off because I had to watch it right away. I love this movie. This is a Richard Linklater film from 2003. Such a great movie, and it's pretty crazy like what this turned into. I mean, you know, I don't know if this came before the movie or after, but as far as I know, this whole School of Rock thing actually turned into a real thing that they do, you know, where they teach kids how to play music and stuff. One of my old drummers in my band Rising actually went to School of Rock. But anyways, Jack Black, super, super good movie. And I was really shocked that I actually found this. This was in the Amazon cart to purchase one day. And I think it was like $15 in there, but I found it for like $3-4 at a pawn shop, brand new. So I'm so happy I found School of Rock. I absolutely love this film. It is such a badass film. One of my favorite Jack Black films. And of course I'm into music. That's probably why I like it even more. But yeah, so happy I found School of Rock finally. All right, we are getting down to the end of the A to Z. Next up here, we got Indian in the Cupboard, directed by Frank Oz from 1995. We got a young kid, a young actor by the name of Hal Scardino took over the role of the hell's the kid's name in the movie? Can't remember. Omri, I think. I don't know why I didn't remember that. And then of course you also get Lightfoot, who plays Little Bear. I gotta find a slip for this. They got a cool slip, but anyways, I bought it for $7 brand new at a pawn shop, still sealed. I really like this movie. It's been years since I've seen this, and I remember reading the book a lot as a kid. It was also read to us in class by my teacher when I was in elementary school. And then when I found out that the movie was coming out, I was so excited. But yeah, definitely a cool movie. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check this movie out. But it's based off of the classic novel. But yeah, happy to own this. Hope I can find a slipcover soon. All right, that takes us to The Equalizer, directed by Antoine Fuqua. Starring Denzel Washington. I believe it came out in 2014. Yeah. This was another movie I watched the other night with my friend Jake. He, again, gave me the slipcover. I didn't have it at that time. Badass movie. I love Denzel Washington. I don't know what took me so long to watch this movie, but he is one bad motherfucker in this movie. That's all I can say. If you guys want to read what it's about here. Really, really cool movie. Even though I might not have fully liked Cloud Atlas, but I will say, Jake, you nailed it with this movie, so I had to go out and buy it. And he gave me the slipcover for it. So just picked it up, found it for I think it was like $15 at Best Buy, and then I price matched it on Amazon to $10. So I had to own this movie. As soon as I watched this movie, I had to own it. Kick-ass Denzel Washington film. Check this out, you guys, if you haven't seen it. And another movie that Jay gave me the slipcover for at first, and I went and found this. I knew that Target had this for $5, but I actually found it for $3 at a pawn shop. So, but yeah, Where the Wild Things Are from 2009, directed by Spike Jonze. This stars Max Records, I'm not sure, but anyways, he plays the character of Max in the film. I've never seen this movie. I don't know why, because I loved the book as a kid. I must have read it 100 times in elementary school. And I'd mentioned this before. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about this, but I read something about Rob Zombie was going to make this movie. And then Spike Jonze ended up taking it. But I'm pretty sure I read something about that where he was actually going to make this movie. And if that's true, I'm really curious how this movie would have turned out if he would have done it. Of course, I don't really have much of a comparison because I've never even seen it. But now that I have it, I'm definitely going to watch it soon. But like I said, loved the book as a kid, and I'm happy I finally got the movie to watch it now. All right, we got ourselves a Roland Emmerich film from 2004, The Day After Tomorrow, with Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal. Owned it on DVD, found it in the dump in the Best Buy for $6. Had to grab it. It's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's a cool disaster film. Roland Emmerich is good in all these type of movies that he does. But it's okay. It's kind of cool. And I'm sure it's going to look pretty sweet on Blu Ray. But I just picked it up. I found it cheap, and I liked the movie, so I just figured I'd grab it. Look, Jake, it's The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. This is a movie that, another movie that Jake's been, after me forever to watch. And I bought it the other day, and I borrowed it to someone, and I finally got it back, and now I'm going to watch it. But this is, stars Ben Stiller, directed by Ben Stiller. This came out in 2013. Jake says it's a great movie if you guys want to read about it. Just apparently about Ben Stiller. He's just like a daydreamer, and he just, goes through these different adventures in his dreams. I don't know. It sounds cool. I love Ben Stiller. Jake said it was a great movie, and I'm definitely looking forward to watching it. Sweet slipcover on here, too, by the way. But yeah, I will be watching this very soon, Jake, I promise. Or come over to my house, we'll watch it. All right, everybody. That takes us to a movie that I never thought I would be sharing in one of my Blu-ray updates. Yes, Willow. From 1988, directed by Ron Howard, and of course starring Warwick Davis as Willow and Val Kilmer. All right, you guys. Tell you an awesome story about this movie. If you guys... I'm sure a lot of you guys know this. This movie is completely out of print, going for $130 online with no slipcover. And the slipcover itself goes for about $20. So this is a $150 movie here, you guys. I remember my buddy Jake, when I was looking at his slipcovers, and I seen that he had this movie. I was like, dude, do you know how much money this movie is worth? And he didn't know. And I'm like, and you have the slipcover. That is amazing. And I remember when I was going through all the slipcovers and I was getting all the slipcovers, I'm like, whatever you do, keep this slipcover. I'm like, I know you don't care a lot about slipcovers, but keep this one, because you have to keep the slipcover on this one, because it just makes it that much more valuable. And anyway, Jess recently got a promotion at work, and Jess really likes this movie too. She recently got a promotion, and he gave this to Jess as a promotion gift. Yes, he gave it to Jess. Why? I don't know. Maybe because he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. But he's just that kind of guy. He just likes to do nice things for people. And I can't believe that Jess and I own this movie now. This movie is just fantastic. It's been so long since I had seen this movie, and me and the kids and Jess watched it the other night. And it was so great catching up, and the Blu Ray transfer looks amazing on this film. I was so blown away by that. But yes, you guys, I finally got Willow. Go check it out. You guys will see. This movie's $130 right now online. Definitely a really hot out of print item. But I'm so happy that Jess and I own this film now. And thank you so much, Jake, for giving us this movie. I owe you, man. But yeah, Willow. So happy to own this. All right, moving along here to my Disney titles. I got 4 of them. Starting, of course, with a live-action Disney of Cinderella. Jess has seen this, loves it. This is a movie that I picked up recently for $15. because I have the slipcover from my friend Jake again. I gotta get that shit to get these stickers off because it's like completely covering up her face. But anyway, so this is, like I said, the live action version of Cinderella, directed by Kenneth Branagh, whatever, 2015. This, of course, stars Lily James as Cinderella and Kate Blanchett as the wicked stepmother. The cartoon version, original version of Cinderella is definitely one of my favorite Disney films. And I've never seen the live action. I'm really liking what Disney's been doing with live action films lately. Jess and I are excited. Beauty and the Beast, the live action, comes out, I believe, next week on Blu Ray. So we're excited to go pick that up. She really wants to see that. But I'm really liking the live action. Like the live action Jungle Book was awesome. Live action Pete's Dragon. I'm happy to own this because, you know, Disney, you have to have slipcovers for, and since Jake gave me a slipcover, which is the badass slipcover, I had to go pick up the film, and it's only $15 for now at Best Buy, so not a bad deal, but I haven't watched it yet, and I'll be getting around to it one day. All right, next up, we got Disney's Brave. This is directed by Mark Andrews and Brenda Sharman from 2012, and that girl right there is voiced by Kelly MacDonald. I've never seen Brave, but all the kids like it. It's Disney. I had to pick it up, and check this out, you guys. $7. I got this like digibook thing at the pawn shop. I'm not really sure what the real value is of this, and I don't know if this was like an exclusive that came out to like Target or something back in the day. But it is, it's cool little collection. I think the DVD is missing. Hold on a minute. So this is the Blu Ray. This is the DVD. I think it's the special features disc that's missing, which is probably why it was so cheap. But, you know, you just get a cool little booklet like most of these Disney digibooks do. But yeah, I mean, I figured, you know, not a bad deal. $7 for this cool digibook of Brave. Yeah, why the hell not, right? So there we go. Happy to add this to the Disney collection. All right, next up in my Disney titles, we got the classic 1973 Robin Hood, directed by Wolfgang Reitherman, with voice acting from Brian Bedford and Monica Evans. I love Robin Hood. The classic Disney Robin Hood is just awesome. I picked this up over at, what was it? Best Buy. Best Buy had a deal on some Disney titles not too long ago. Picked it up for $10. I'm hoping to find the slipcover for this. You know, I still have a few Disney titles that need slipcovers, so you guys know where to find the slipcover for this, let me know. But yeah, happy to have Robin Hood to add to the Disneys. And then the last Disney title here, we got The Sword and the Stone, also directed by Wolfgang Reitherman from 1963. And this has got voice acting from Ricky Sorensen, who played Arthur, and Carl Swenson, who plays Merlin. It's been so long since I've seen this movie that I can't even remember if I actually did. I'm sure at some point as a kid I watched this movie because I vaguely remember things about it. But it's a classic Disney title. Another one I picked up for $10 at Best Buy. And again, really need the slipcover. So if you guys, I heard that this one's kind of a rare one, but if you guys know where to find this, let me know, please. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, Sword in the Stone. Happy to add this to the Disney titles for a really cheap price. All right, next up we got Logan. Getting into my DC Marvel titles. I actually only have two, but the other one is a steelbook, so I'll show you that here in a second. But no DC, just two Marvel films. Finally, Logan came out to Blu Ray, and oh my god, I gotta tell you, everybody just, I mean, the steelbook for Logan this time around, like, I don't even know if it even hit stores. I mean, it was like sold for like pre-sale before the day even came of release. But this just came out last Tuesday, I believe. I ended up getting the Target exclusive digibook because the last X-Men movie that came out, Apocalypse, I got the digibook of that, and this was a really cool digibook. Eventually, I'm going to be getting all the steelbooks of the X-Men films. I mean, actually, right now, Best Buy has a sale on all the steelbooks for like $10 a piece. Not all of them. I can't find. They don't have the Wolverine, and then Apocalypse is like still a normal price, like $27. And then Logan just doesn't exist on their website anymore, the Logan Steelbook. But anyways, this is the Target Digibook. It's really cool. This, of course, comes with the Nor version as well, you know, the black and white version, which I cannot wait to watch that edition of it. But this movie just kicked ass, you guys. Excellent film. Very different from for an X-Men movie. And this, again, is supposed to be Hugh Jackman's last portrayal of, Wolverine. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. I'm probably, I don't know if I can, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it with one hand because for some reason this, like, Digibook is, like, it sticks to the slip cover, so give me a minute. Okay, so I got it opened up here. Of course, this is the movie plus special features on Blu Ray. Here's the Nor version. It comes in this little sleeve. This is, again, like I said, a black and white version of the film. But let's take a look at it now. I mean, this Digibook is really cool. Some really cool pictures in here. I love it. And it's all in black and white, which is badass. But just some really cool pictures. You know, Steelbooks are probably my favorite. But if I had to pick a runner-up, it definitely would be these cool Digibooks that Target offers. But, you know, just like a cool bunch of cool pictures, black and white pictures. And then here's the movie and special features on DVD. So, yeah, really awesome. And I like the cover, too, just nice and plain. Logan, you know, and it's got kind of like a rubber feel to it, which is why it sticks to the slipcover so much. But I'm so happy this movie. I saw this in theaters. I'm so happy that it's finally out now on Blu-ray. So at one point I will pick up the Steelbook. You know, I'm sure I'm going to pay an arm and a leg for it, but I'll do it at some point. By the way, of course, this movie came out this year, 2017, and it is directed by James Mangold. So there you go. All right, now we're going to go ahead and get into my Steelbooks. This, is the other Marvel title that I picked up, but the 2015 Fantastic Four. This film was directed by Josh Trank, and it stars Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, of course, is the actor who played Adonis Creed in the Creed film that came out. And then, of course, we all know Miles Teller. I really like Miles Teller. You know, he's a kind of an up and coming actor, and I think he's been doing great in the films he's been doing. Now, this movie, I got all my Steelbooks in these cases like I usually do, so I'll take them all out so you guys can see the inside too. But this is, like I said, Best Buy is having their sale on Steelbooks right now, $10 a piece, and this was one of them. I really like this Steelbook. It's super nice. I'm gonna go ahead and take the sleeve off this real quick for you. Okay, so I got the sleeve off here. I really like this Steelbook, like I said. I mean, this is all like debossed on here, which is really cool. Again, here's another shot of the back with the Fantastic Four, and let's take a look at the inside. Cool disc art as well. I really like that. Got Human Torch on there, and then there's all of them. The sweet shot of the four of them. Now, my opinion on this movie, to be honest with you guys, I really liked this movie. I'm probably like the only person in the whole world that liked it. We all know the story of Fantastic Four. It's everybody calls it a cursed movie that they just, as many times as they've tried, they've never been able to release a successful Fantastic Four film. The other ones that came out years back, with like Chris Evans and whatnot, those didn't do that well either. I thought those movies were pretty good too, but there's something about this story that I really like, and I like the actors they picked: Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan. I think it was told kind of different, a different take on it. This, of course, is a reboot to the series that they were hoping would do well, so they can continue and make some sequels and whatnot. But it didn't do well. I'm not going to say it's like the greatest Marvel movie in the world. I mean, I understand it's got its problems, it's got its flaws, but I enjoyed it. I really liked it. I thought it was a cool storyline. I think one of my big negative things about it is the fact of how, like, they did too much turning into the Fantastic Four, and then finally when it came to the end, when they were taking on Doctor Doom. Like, it seemed like the fight scene was so quick. Like, it was just like Doctor Doom was just right there at the end, and then they fought him, and it was like done in minutes. So that was kind of like felt rushed to me. But I don't know. I mean, overall, I thought it was a fun movie. I had to get the steelbook because I mean, whether the movie's good or not, the steelbook is badass. That's all I can say. But I enjoyed it. It was decent. There's been a lot of talks, a lot of discussions of trying to get Fantastic Four into the MCU. I don't know if that would be a good thing, where we'd finally get some really good Fantastic Four films, or if it would like destroy the MCU. Who knows? But anyway, Fantastic Four steelbook. All right, next up with my steelbooks, we got 8 Mile. Target recently put out some steelbooks, a little steelbook section of $10 steelbooks, and that was pretty cool. I ended up just getting one. I had to go with 8 Mile. But yeah, this is a cool biopic on Eminem. This film came out in 2002, directed by Curtis Hanson, and also stars Kim Basinger. Really nice steelbook. One of the coolest 8 Mile steelbooks I've ever seen. I'm not like a huge fan of Eminem or anything, but I thought the movie was done pretty well. Let's take a look at the inside here. I really like the art on this. Nothing special about the disc there, but there's just him doing his thing in front of the crowd. That's just awesome. And then another look at the back. So yeah, really cool steelbook. I think the movie's decent. I didn't own this on Blu Ray yet, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, 8 Mile, cool steelbook. And here's a look at the side there. All right, next up we got Taxi Driver. Really sweet steelbook. This is one of those Best Buy pop art ones, I believe. Yeah, I love this steelbook, you guys. Taxi Driver, of course, Martin Scorsese film, one of my favorite directors, came out in 1976, starring the man, Robert De Niro. Look at the steelbook, you guys. Beautiful steelbook. Love the colors. It's got that like matte finish on it. So look at the side. I already own that cool 40th anniversary slipcover edition of this, but when I seen this steelbook, I had to own it. And steelbooks are the only ones that I double up on for movies. So anyway, let's take a look at the inside. We got the cool artwork on the disc as well. And I don't think, there's nothing on the inside. It's just blank. So don't need to take the disc out. So, but yeah, love the artwork on this one, you guys. Great movie too, by the way. All right, last up for the steelbooks, we got Home Alone. Of course, we all know this came out back in 1990, directed by Chris Columbus, starring Macaulay Culkin. Now, I seen this steelbook around Christmas time last year, and I didn't get it because I wasn't really collecting steelbooks at the time, and of course, I already have the the big collector paint can edition of all these movies. But now that I'm really getting into steelbooks, I'm happy that Best Buy just brought this back, in their steelbook sale that they're having right now. This was there, $10. Had to grab it. I'm really getting into steelbooks lately, and I'm trying to get as many as I can. And this is a really cool steelbook. Even though I already own this movie, I don't care to double up on steelbooks at all, because I won't even watch this one. I'll just keep it for the collection. But let's take a look at it here. So here's the front. Awesome. Here's the spine. Let's look at the back. Great picture of Kevin there. Let's take a look at the inside. Inside, I love the inside artwork. Let's take a look here. Get the discs out. There's the Blu Ray and the DVD. And there we go. Kevin's battle plans. They couldn't have picked better inner art, if you ask me. This is just awesome. But this steelbook is definitely one of my favorite steelbooks that I own. I love Home Alone. It's just one of my top favorite movies. And the sequel. It'd be cool if they had a steelbook for the sequel. I don't know if they do or not. They might. But I've never seen it at Best Buy or anything. I'm sure there's one out there somewhere. But there you go. There's all my steelbooks. God, I love these protective cases. Just make the movies look so badass. Yeah, baby. All right, so that takes us to the last category of films, my horror films. I know I'm like creeping up on an hour right now, and I'm going to try to fly through these as fast as I possibly can. We're going to go ahead and start things out with Mirrors. I'm so happy I found this movie on Blu-ray kind of unexpectedly. This was a really cool movie, directed by Alexandre Aja from 2000, Aja or Aja, whatever you pronounce, from 2008, starring Kiefer Sutherland. Really cool horror film. I owned it on DVD, and I'm happy I found it on Blu-ray. So, kick-ass movie, you guys. Check it out. And the very next day, believe it or not, I found Mirrors 2 at Half Price Books. Such a crazy coincidence, but I really did. It was so funny. The sequel's not that good. This one was directed by Victor Garcia from 2010. This one, Kiefer Sutherland doesn't return. Nick Stahl takes the lead role. But it was decent, but the first one is way better, but I just wanted to own it, so I had them both. But happy I found this. Not that much, $5 as you can see there. All right, next up we got Rings, the third film in the Ring franchise. This just came out this year, 2017, directed by F. Javier Gutierrez, starring Matilda Lutz and Alex Rowe. I haven't watched it yet. I got the wrap off. As you can see there, I almost watched it the other day, but I didn't. But I think this is definitely one that's next on the list. I haven't heard the greatest things about it. This, of course, you get the digital versions of the first two films with this edition, which I mentioned before is cool because Ring 2 is not on Blu-ray yet. Hopefully that comes to Blu-ray at some point. But I've heard more negative than positive about this movie, but I'm definitely going to check it out because I really like the first Ring. The second one was okay. But I'm excited to watch this soon. Next up, we got a Stephen King film here, directed by Todd Williams, starring John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. I think, what year did this come out? I think it was a couple years ago. 2000. Oh, was it last year? 2016? Okay, well, 2016. I remember reading about this when it first came out, and I didn't want to pay the $20 for it when it first came out. So I held off, and as you can see, it was worth the wait because I found it for $3 with a slipcover at Pawn America. So anyways, it sounds like a cool movie. Apparently, like, cell phones are like making people like crazy or something. I don't know. It looked kind of cool. I mean, I don't mind paying $3. I don't mind blind buying for $3. I mean, who the hell cares, right? But Stephen King film, John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson did great together in 1408. I love John Cusack. I'm sure it's going to be decent, but I don't know. We'll find out. Let me know if you guys have seen this. All right, next up, I found the Blu-ray of Godzilla. This is the 1998 Godzilla, directed by Roland Emmerich, starring Matthew Broderick. I thought this movie was pretty decent. Being Roland Emmerich, you know, I would think that this movie would have been a lot better, but it's okay. It's kind of a fun film. I got the newest Godzilla film on Blu-ray, so I found this cheap. I think it was like $1, so why the hell not, right? Next up, My Bloody Valentine. This is the 2009 remake directed by Patrick Lussier, starring Jensen Ackles, I think. Anyway, I thought this remake was pretty cool, and not as good as the first one, but it's pretty cool. And this is like the 3D version, but you get these 3D glasses still in here. Yeah, it was a decent movie. I'm happy to have found it. It wasn't that much. I think I paid $1 for this as well, so can't beat $1. All right, that takes us to The Arrival, another kind of a weird find at Pawn America. Been looking for this movie for a while. Charlie Sheen from 1996, directed by David Twohy. This movie, it's funny, that new movie that came out, I think earlier this year or something, Arrival, starring, I think, Amy Adams. I thought that was a remake of this. I don't know why I just did, but apparently they're not. But this is the cool movie. Charlie Sheen plays a cool role in this film. I always like this movie. Just, you know, cool alien sci-fi film with Charlie Sheen. But like I said, $5. And kind of a cool find, you know, something that you wouldn't expect to find, you know, out in the wild. But yeah, happy to own this. Never even owned it on DVD, but happy to check this out. It's been a few years since I've seen this. Another kick-ass film that I found out in the wild at a pawn shop, The Faculty. It's been in the Amazon cart for a long time. So happy I found this on Blu-ray. Very surprised to have found this. This was a really cool movie, one of my favorites, directed by Robert Rodriguez from 1998, starring Jordana Brewster, Elijah Wood. I think it's also one of Josh Hartnett's first films. I mean, this might actually be his first film, to be honest with you, I think. This had a really cool soundtrack, too. Creed redid I'm 18, Alice Cooper's I'm 18, a really cool version of that. I love this movie. It's just kind of like a aliens taking over the world type thing, set in a school. It's a lot of fun. Super, super fun movie. I can't watch this movie enough. This looks to be some kind of a like Canadian French version of this film, I think. But I'm pretty sure it'll be, region free, because I had some other ones of these and they're fine. So suppose I should check this out now that I think about it. But anyways, happy to have the faculty on Blu. All right, so now I found this at a pawn shop, the unrated producer's cut of Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. I was under the impression that this edition, this unrated producer's cut, didn't come in that big Scream Factory collection, but it did. When I looked at it a second time, you actually get this version in there. I thought you didn't. That's why I picked this up, to have the unrated producer's cut. But it's in there. I read it, and it's in that collection. I got that big deluxe edition of all the Halloween films. So I'm probably going to end up selling this, So if you guys have been looking for this, make me an offer. And let me know down in the comments. So probably just going to get rid of this. We are just about done. I am trying to hurry. We got The Autopsy of Jane Doe, directed by Andre Overall, whatever. 2016, came out last year. This is starring Emile Hirsch and Olwen Kelly, who plays Jane Doe. Haven't watched this yet. I'm going to watch it very soon. This is a Scream Factory release. Apparently this movie isn't out yet. Like, it doesn't come out, I think, till next month or something. The end of this month, next month, something like that. But Walmart released it early, exclusively. So, had a few people tell me about picking this up. So, I seen it at Walmart the other day, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to grab it. It was only like $12. And I heard that's supposed to be just like a super freaky movie, and I'm really excited to watch this. This is definitely at the top of the list of movies to watch here. I almost watched this actually last night. So I will be getting to this very, very soon, but it looks pretty damn cool. So, all right, that takes us to the last title in this update, Jack Frost, the cheesiest movie in the world. This was directed by Michael Cooney from 1997. We get Christopher Allport in here, and then we get Scott McDonald, who plays Jack Frost. I had to get this edition. Everybody knows this movie is one of the cheesiest movies known to man. But it is such a sweet addition, and it's definitely the type of cheese that I like for horror films. And this slipcover, my God, how can I pass this up? Look at that shit, you guys. Damn, that is freaking awesome. Got a really good deal on this from somebody off that Facebook group that I'm on for buying slipcovers of movies and whatnot. This is a Vinegar Syndrome release, and it is freaking awesome. So let's get the slipcover off. Real quick, it's a really thick, heavy-duty slipcover. This is a badass slipcover, you guys. But yeah, there's the movie. So I haven't watched it yet. I'm really excited to watch this movie and to see the transfer and everything. But when I seen this release, I had to get it. It's just, if you're a horror collector, you got to own this movie, and this is the best edition you could possibly get. There is a part 2 to this that I've seen a couple versions, Blu Ray editions of this online on eBay. And it's not really that much, but I keep forgetting to get it because it sells quick. They pop up every now and then, but I don't know how good of an edition that is. It's supposed to be region free, so maybe at some point I'll get it. But anyways, Jack. Well, that wraps it up, everybody, for my May 2017 Blu Ray update. And I know it was a long one, you guys. I really appreciate those who stuck all the way through it. I know that these updates are going to start being this, a little bit longer now because I'm doing them monthly now. I'm not doing them just sporadically. It's going to be every month, May, June, July, so on and so forth. So I know they're going to always be probably sitting around an hour or so. Next month's update for June, or for this month, I should say, June, is probably not going to be a big one because I'm trying to save up, all the money I can for the Days of the Dead later in the month that I'm super excited for. And I need all the money I can for that. So I'm probably going to hopefully lay off on the movies this month. So hopefully next month won't be a huge update. But anyways, everybody, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed all the titles I got. Drop me some comments down below. Let me know what you think of the titles I picked up this month. And also make sure you, if you enjoy these updates, you put a little like, hit that thumbs up button right down below. Share the video around and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.